Hello everyone, this is Paul from Ortho Eval. I have with me Ryan today. He's going to help me with a demonstration of manual traction. Okay, now I do manual traction on almost all my cervical spine patients, unless they have some amount of instability or they get really dizzy when they lie right down on their back. But it's a great way to take some pressure off the cervical spine. You can feel the muscles of the posterior cervical spine, the suboccipitals, to see if there's a lot of tension, see if there's a lot of spasm there, so you can work on that also. But it's important that they're relaxed back here. I may do a little moist heat to their neck first and get them in a good comfortable position. Then I might do some soft tissue mobilization and work, and then I'll do some light traction. So I want to talk today about patient position and how I like to traction those patients and a couple different hand techniques. So Ryan, if I could have you lie right down on your back. I always like to put a roll underneath the legs. Little effort substitution helps everything else relax here. It's important that you, as a therapist, take care of your body position so that you're not in an uncomfortable position, okay? Because you don't want to stress yourself in your arms. This is important also, having good hand strength to be able to do manual techniques on a patient is important. So lifting weights, bicep curls, pull-ups, things like that that really build a lot of wrist strength and grip strength can be very helpful, along with postural exercises, all right? So the way I like to do it is I like to get the patient in a good, comfortable position. I always like to flex them a little bit, and if they have a one-sided radiculopathy, I might pull them to the opposite side and see how they do. So a couple things. I occasionally like to start with just a little suboccipital release where I take my fingers like this and I put it in the suboccipital space. Okay, those muscles have a lot of Golgi tendon organs, which when stimulated give you a little inhibitory effect, so they help to relax the muscles around the posterior cervical spine. So I may just put a little bit of pressure there and sit him, try to keep him pretty neutral, and I might just spend some time there with some pressure. Okay, not necessarily giving him traction, but just kind of letting those muscles become inhibited a little bit, get him to relax some. Sometimes dimming the lights can help, and just really trying to get him to relax. Once we've done that and he's relaxed some, I want to get a better grip on him because I won't be able to hold him very long in that position. So if I'm considering doing mechanical traction with him, I always do manual first to make sure that they tolerate that okay. So the way I like to do manual is I like to take my right hand and have him sit the suboccipital ridge right into this web space right here. I take my other hand and bring it along there to give it some extra support. Okay, so with somebody like Ryan here, he's got a great neck, easy to get a hold of his suboccipital space. So I get a nice little grip, I flex him a little bit. The good thing about this, it doesn't affect people with TMJ, so they're usually pretty relaxed. I try to get myself in a nice position where I can hold him comfortably, and it's not too stressful for me either, okay? I want to use my biceps a little bit, I'm using my posterior shoulders, scapular retraction a little, keeping myself in a good position, and just giving a nice slow pull. Now I can't measure this, okay? It's not like a dynamometer where I can check how many pounds I'm pulling, but you get a feel after you've done enough of these to know how much to pull. And so I like to pull between 15 and 20 pounds. How you doing so far? All right. I think he's already sleeping. Yep. What we do here is we just give a nice, long, steady traction. So I ask them how they feel. Okay, do you have any less, he'll say, oh, I've got less tingling in my arm, or my arm feels less heavy. Sometimes they'll kind of like start playing with their fingers, rubbing their thumb and their index finger, and they'll stay, it feels a little different, almost like the feeling is coming back. And that's very common. Oftentimes they'll get stronger when you traction them also. So I like to hold this nice steady traction here, and it may be about 8 to 10 minutes. I've got a pretty big hand, so it's easy for me to do, but let's say that you have a small hand and a big head. You can hold like this also, just let the patient know you're going to put a little pressure there. And sometimes giving a little squeeze, you can get that nice traction that you want. And you can also take a belt around the back, around your hands, and get a nice little pull. I like to do it manually because you can control him better, you can do some soft tissue work, you can see how reactive he is. When you let him go, just like with the mechanical traction, you let go slowly and just let the head settle right down. Before he sits up, we let him lay there for a bit, and then when he gets up, we get him up nice and slowly. So you can go ahead and slowly swing over this way and back up. So that's how I like to do manual cervical traction. Okay, I think it's invaluable. I use it on many patients, and it really gets them to relax a little bit before we start shoulder exercises, upper trap activities, and postural strengthening, and even neck exercises. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and would appreciate it if you liked our videos, and subscribe, share with your friends, and I hope you enjoy the content, and please keep following us. Thanks.